The movie begins with a happy family of 3 being reflected in a mirror in their house. In a blink of an eye, the reflection changes. It now reflects the mother, Evelyn, looking stressed in front of the dining room table. She is surrounded by piles of receipts and she tries her best to make sense of them. It's a tough time for her family because their laundromat is under the scrutiny of a tax auditor. Even more, Evelyn's strict father has come from China. She has a long track record of disappointing him, so she is hellbent on making the welcome party for her father tonight perfect. Evelyn's husband, Waymond, tries his best to comfort Evelyn, but she has no patience for him. Waymond actually wants to talk to Evelyn, but she is too busy. He has a document detailing his request for a divorce in his hand. Waymond and Evelyn's daughter, Joy, arrives with her girlfriend. Ever since she became an adult, Joy has become emotionally distant from her mother. Since Evelyn and Waymond are first-generation immigrants, there are a lot of differences between their generation and Joy's. Evelyn is also nervous that her father will find out that Joy is a lesbian, and he will disapprove. Evelyn cannot find a certain customer's clothes. She asks her husband if he knows where it is. Unlike the serious Evelyn, Waymond is goofy and jovial. Case in point, he had actually put googly eyes on the missing laundry sack because he says it makes them happy. Evelyn is buckling under the pressure, and she does not understand how her husband can stay in a joking mood. She feels like she's taking things on alone. Evelyn complains to Joy, not noticing the CCTV footage playing behind them, showing Waymond suddenly making acrobatic moves around the laundromat. A second later, Waymond is back to normal. Evelyn's father emerges from his sleep. She introduces Joy, but refers to Joy's girlfriend as just her friend. This disappoints her daughter, and Joy leaves in tears. Later that afternoon, Waymond and Evelyn go to their appointment with the auditor. Since Joy left, they had no choice but to take the father with them in his wheelchair. They step inside the elevator, and suddenly Waymond changes. His body is briefly taken over by another Waymond from another universe. He tells a confused Evelyn that once she gets out of the elevator, she can either go to their appointment or go to the janitor's closet down the hall. This new Waymond comes from the Alpha-verse, the universe that discovered the multiverses and developed the technology to jump from one universe to another. Alpha Waymond shoves a headset piece over Evelyn's head, and it begins scanning her memories. Her whole life flashes before her like a movie. It begins with Evelyn as a child being scolded by her father for running, and then cuts to Evelyn and Waymond falling in love and deciding to go to America. Because of this, Evelyn's parents disowned her, and she carries the hurt of their betrayal in her heart every day. The movie fast-forwards through their early years in a new country, trying to get their business up and running to Evelyn being pregnant with Joy. However, when Joy grew up, a rift also grew between them, and their fights became more frequent. The scan ends, and a dazed Evelyn is informed by Alpha Waymond that her real husband will not remember any of this. He gives her a piece of paper with instructions on what to do. Still in shock by what happened, Evelyn is mostly silent throughout the appointment. The auditor, a stern middle-aged woman, is suspicious of the various activities that Evelyn had tried to write off as business expenses in their tax records. Since Evelyn is still silent, Waymond explains that Evelyn is a singer and does many side jobs, causing her to think she can write things like a singing machine as a business expense. Evelyn notices the instructions Alpha Waymond had written on a piece of paper, while the auditor is berating Evelyn for her gross negligence when it comes to the laundromat's taxes. Alpha Waymond calls her through the headset. Half of her is in a parallel universe. She is in the janitor's closet now with him, and the other half is still at the appointment in her original universe. He tells her that she's his only hope to save the multiverse from a terrifying threat. However, their time is cut short when that universe's version of the auditor punches a hole through the door and grabs Alpha Waymond. He reassures Evelyn that he will be in touch with her soon, and that she will know when it's time to fight. The auditor snaps his neck, and then smashes a pipe against Evelyn's head. Evelyn snaps back to her reality as she screams. The people around her are looking at her strangely. The auditor sighs, and gives them a one-day extension to organize their taxes again. Evelyn abruptly stands up to leave. Waymond picks up the paper, which is coincidentally the divorce papers from him. He thinks that Evelyn has discovered the divorce papers, and he gets nervous. Waymond tries to talk to Evelyn as they wait for the elevator. The auditor stalks toward them, and Evelyn recalls Alpha Waymond's words. She suddenly attacks the auditor after, thinking that she is the same auditor who attacked them in the other multiverse. Waymond confronts Evelyn and shows her the paper. She's shocked that he is filing for divorce, since their culture doesn't really accept it. Security guards arrive to subdue Evelyn after she attacked the auditor. Alpha Waymond takes over again and grabs the headset from Evelyn. He pulls out a tube of lip balm and eats it. The headset powers up, and Alpha Wayman moves faster and is stronger. He proceeds to attack the squad of security guards. With an impressive array of fighting skills, against all odds, he finally defeats them. After that, Alpha Wayman takes Evelyn with him against her will. Back in the other universe, the injured Evelyn wakes up. The auditor there proclaims that they are about to witness the arrival of their leader. The mysterious leader arrives and stalks the weak Evelyn on the floor. She presses her index finger on Evelyn's forehead, and all the versions of Evelyn throughout the multiverse scream out loud. This is too much for Evelyn, and she dies. The leader is disappointed and remarks that she's not the Evelyn she is looking for. This is because the original Evelyn is back in her home universe, and the one the leader killed was just another iteration of Evelyn. So the leader searches through the universe, looking for the right one. She jumps to the body of a girl sitting at a bar. The TV is showing the newsreel of the reported building attack, with Evelyn and Wayman being the top suspects. The leader stands up and leaves. Meanwhile, Alpha Wayman and Evelyn hide in a corner while the rest of the building evacuates. Evelyn wonders out loud how Alpha Wayman can be so confident and athletic while her husband, in her universe, cannot even hurt a fly. Alpha Wayman replies that even the smallest decision can lead to significant changes in the life you live. He further explains that in the Alphaverse, Alpha Evelyn was the scientist who discovered the existence of the multiverse. She developed the verse-jumping technology, which allows them to jump into the bodies of their parallel selves and wield their emotions and skills. To trigger verse-jumping, a person has to have the headset, and they have to do something so wacky, weird, and out of character in order to trigger the verse-jumping. That's why Alpha Wayman ate a tube of lip balm before he was able to fight off the security guards. Finally, he reveals that he has been to 1,000 different multiverses, and in every single one of them, Evelyn was killed by the leader. Even Alpha Evelyn is dead. The leader is a powerful verse-jumping being who has been building an enormous hole that can consume everything. Alpha Wayman is fighting to defeat the leader, and he thinks that Evelyn in this universe will be the one who can help him. Alpha Wayman and Evelyn find the auditor alone in a room. But she is no longer the auditor in their universe. She is the follower auditor who serves the leader. Alpha Wayman immediately puts on the headset and accesses the skills of another Wayman who is a gymnast. He and the follower auditor fight. She is about to make a pro wrestling move, but luckily Alpha Wayman escapes. He urges Evelyn to rapidly learn verse jumping. She tries, but she just manages to jump into a divergent universe. In this universe, she and Divergent Wayman go back home after the appointment with the editor. She discovers the divorce papers, and Divergent Wayman explains that he filed for divorce, so he and Evelyn can have a reason to talk about the issues in their marriage. But Evelyn is soon pulled back into the universe, where the follower auditor is chasing them. Alpha Wayman is gone as well, and Wayman is back with her. He is confused about what's happening, and Evelyn tries verse jumping again. She whispers "I love you" to the follower auditor, and this finally triggers verse jumping. Evelyn is transported into a universe where she refused to go to America with Wayman. Instead, she became a martial artist and built a successful career as a famous action star. Evelyn accesses this actress' martial arts training. Back in the original universe, she uses her fighting skills to defeat the follower auditor. Alpha Wayman jumps into her husband's body again, and they flee deeper into the building. Evelyn is drawn to the actress universe since she had long dreamed about being a star. She suddenly regrets marrying Wayman. Alpha Wayman warns her that she can't keep getting sucked into multiverses, since this can cause her mind to break. He tells her that the leader is actually the Alpha Universe version of their daughter, Joy. Alpha Evelyn had seen Alpha Joy's potential as a verse jumper and pushed her daughter's mind to break. Now, Alpha Joy experiences all the worlds in the multiverse at the same time, and she has lost all her morals and emotions. She is hunting down all the Evelyns. Alpha Wayman believes that because the original Evelyn is the Evelyn with the most disappointments and wasted potential, she is the one who holds the key to defeating Alpha Joy. Evelyn is once again pulled into the actress universe. She is on the red carpet premiere of her new movie, and her fans are clamoring for her autograph. CEO Wayman appears and she is surprised. In this universe, when Evelyn broke his heart, he came to America and became a successful businessman. In the original universe, the police capture Evelyn and Wayman. He loses consciousness, and Evelyn is left defenseless. Alpha Joy arrives and kills the policeman by turning one of them into confetti and the other into a salsa dancer. Evelyn pees herself and triggers another jump. but she ends up going to a hot dog universe where people's hands are hot dogs. As a result, she can't really fight Alpha Joy there. Alpha Joy pushes into her mind and makes her see the black hole she is building. It looks like a bagel. Alpha Joy explains that she put everything, all her emotions, disappointments, and all she had seen to create that black hole. When she looked at her creation, she realized that nothing really matters. She takes over Evelyn's mind and tries to get her to be consumed by the black hole. But Alpha Father arrives and slams her into a wall. Alpha Father wakes Waymond up and they retreat into a secluded office. They take Joy's unconscious body there. Evelyn ties her confused daughter to a chair to prevent Alpha Joy from taking over again. She does her best to explain that their parallel selves can take over their bodies, but both Waymond and Joy just think that she's joking. Meanwhile, Alpha Father hands Evelyn a blade and urges her to kill Joy, so Alpha Joy can no longer have access to her. But Evelyn refuses to kill her. Alpha Father responds by pointing a gun at them. She takes Waymond and Joy inside the vault in the office. Alpha Father loses his access to the original father's body. He calls on the other Alpha agents in the area and orders them to go to the building and kill Joy. They converge on the office and release toxic gas. Evelyn jumps to a universe where she becomes a famous singer. Her skills allow her to hold her breath for a long time, so Evelyn steps out of the vault and fights the agents. She also accesses the skills of another version of herself, where she is a sign twirler, using her skills to grab an agent's shield and twirl it as a weapon. She moves Waymond and Joy out of the office. She accesses the skills of a chef version of herself, and she uses various kitchen tools to fight off 2 more agents. In the middle of fighting a male agent, they both lose their access. They no longer have the skills to fight. The agent searches for another action to use as a trigger, and he spies a phallic-shaped trophy on the desk. He plans to stick it into his smelly butt, so he can jump again. Evelyn tussles with him and tries to stop him, but a bald agent interrupts and sticks the trophy up his butt. Evelyn blows on the other agent, triggering her access to actress. Evelyn's skills. She now regains her martial arts knowledge and fights the 2 agents. She is successful, but her mind weakens. Alpha Waymond catches her body as she falls, but he is also pulled back into the Alpha-verse where Alpha Joy has found him. He dies in Evelyn's arms. Alpha Joy jumps into the original universe. Evelyn stands up to fight her, but her mind shatters and she collapses. Evelyn's mind shatters and she jumps into actress Evelyn's body. She's at the premiere again, and CEO Waymond is seated beside her. She tells him that she has to find their daughter. Evelyn becomes Chef Evelyn. She walks into the kitchen of the restaurant she is working at and discovers that the male chef he works with has a raccoon on his head, controlling his cooking skills. Afterward, she's taken to the hot dog universe. In this universe, Hot Dog Evelyn is in a relationship with Hot Dog Auditor. Finally, she jumps into the Divergent Universe version of herself. She is back at their apartment, trying to make sense of the tax receipts. Waymond tells her that she can just drop off the papers for the auditor before their party at the laundromat later tonight. Evelyn steps out of the room and encounters Alpha Joy, who's in the body of Divergent Joy. She takes Evelyn to the universe where she keeps the black hole. She explains that she never wanted to kill any of the Evelyns. Alpha Joy just wanted to connect with someone who would understand her pain and loneliness. This alienation drove her to create the hole so she could die. Evelyn is corrupted by the dark pull of the hole, and she begins not to care about anything. This mounting nihilism echoes throughout the multiverse. Actress Evelyn rejects CEO Waymond again and tells him that if she had gone with him to America, they would have been miserable. Hot Dog Evelyn breaks up with the Hot Dog Auditor. Chef Evelyn reports Raccoon Chef to the police, and they take away his raccoon. Divergent Evelyn serves Divergent Waymond the divorce papers and swings a bat at the laundromat window. She also neglected to submit the revised tax declaration to the auditor, as all the other Evelyns make negative choices. The original Evelyn stabs Waymond, but despite this, Waymond still encourages Evelyn to be kind and not succumb to sadness and violence. This makes Evelyn think about her husband's overwhelming kindness, which she had misjudged as idiocy. All this time, Waymond's good heart has been his strength. Waymond becomes the reason why Evelyn is pulled back from the darkness. Divergent Evelyn is almost arrested, but Divergent Waymond convinces the Divergent Auditor not to press charges and to give them an extension on their taxes. She has a deep conversation with the Divergent Auditor, and she tells her that she is not unlovable. Back in the original universe, Alpha Joy arrives with a slew of her followers. Evelyn uses the kindness she has learned from Waymond to conjure the objects and emotions that would make the followers happy. She almost makes it to Alpha Joy, who is about to enter the black hole, but she is stopped by Alpha Father. Evelyn pours her heart out to him and tells him that she will not make the same mistake he did of letting his daughter go. In the Divergent universe, Evelyn chooses to be brave and proudly introduces Joy and her girlfriend to her father. Alpha Father steps aside, and Evelyn tries to stop Alpha Joy from stepping into the black hole. They battle it out in a dozen universes. Luckily, Alpha Father and Waymond help Evelyn pull Alpha Joy back from the dark hole. Meanwhile, Divergent Evelyn and Divergent Joy finally confront their issues with each other, and they make enough progress to start over and be closer than ever. The Evelyns in the multiverse begin to repair their own issues and grow. In the original universe, Evelyn and Waymond are now more affectionate with each other. They are going to their appointment with the auditor. Their taxes are so much better now, and the auditor is impressed. The movie ends with Evelyn briefly sensing all her multiverse selves, before concentrating on her own universe.